I thought about it too late, but I almost just grabbed my lighter and I was like, here's my torch. But I thought about it with 5 seconds left in the intro and I was like, well, that's not gonna be good. But
There's not enough time there, bud.
Well, hello and hello and hello, and welcome to the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and where you can always come here first to quench your thirst. I am your girl, Lana, your resident diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Purr. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I currently am just drinking on some water that's been here all day. And it's okay because
how many days has it been there?
Just today. And I will finish it before the night is through. But if I was drinking anything else, I would probably be drinking out of my cup mug.
Oh, I was gonna
cup mugs on the top, bro.
I don't have mine on me up here. It's like 5 hours away.
I mean, it's literally like Brook and Jack both have cup mugs. They just don't have it with them. So,
KaMorian.
Looking in your
I just got my check. That's
Period.
I'm about to say, I'll be waiting for your order, KaMorian. Anyway, you can get your cup mug.
You very much.
We appreciate you. But you can get your cup mug at LanaG'sCreations.etsy.com, and you can get your cup mug or your any other cup merch, because we do have other cup merch. And check out, we do ship internationally, so there are no excuses. I'm looking at you, Survivor Universe, because y'all all over the place. I know y'all all over the place. I'm looking at all of y'all.
Despite all 6 of us being American, but that's fine.
But we do ship domestically. We do ship domestically too. So, America, I'm looking at you too. Purr.
It's time for America's vote.
America.
Wrong show again, Brook.
Are we the America tribe?
America.
No.
The America tribe. Not again.
No.
America.
Absolutely not. No.
Shireen.
I'll be Shireen. Logan is Dan Foley.
How dare you? How fucking dare you, David?
A line has been crossed.
Weird. This is the last time I've ever seen David.
It is the last time you will ever see David.
He won't be on the podcast anymore.
Y'all are some shady bitches today.
It's the real. We're being very real today.
Anyway, hi, I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. I have my cup mug, but I am filling it with a much larger pitcher in front of me because I'm drinking some sparkling pomegranate lemonade today, and it is very good, and I will be drinking it out of my cup mug for the duration of this podcast.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, cup mug.
Remix on the way.
Brook, not while I'm drinking. Not while I'm drinking. I almost spit it out. Cup mug. Hey. Moving along. This intro is taking way too long.
Moving on to me. I'm David Healy, and I am the Survivor superfan. Hey, hush while I'm talking. No, I'm kidding.
I'm not saying a goddamn thing.
No, you're free to talk as much as you want while I talk.
I sure will.
So, I am a Survivor superfan, as I said, and I have met over 200 survivors, so I will be sharing a different Survivor autograph with you each week. And this one, I am pulling out a very special one. I am pulling out the very first Survivor contestant I ever met in the moment that I met her. Because I rode a Ferris wheel with this Survivor, and she had somebody else take a picture of us. And then she printed the picture, signed it, and then mailed it to me. And it was an unexpected surprise, but it was Jillian from Survivor Gabon.
That's not unexpected at all. That is such a Jillian thing.
What's unexpected is young David.
That's me. 14 years ago, I was 24. Still older than KaMorian or Brook.
And Jack?
Jack, I'm literally older than Jack. What was that about?
I'm
the
shouldn't be surprised.
yes,
It's
and
maturity.
my sister's there too. But yes, she signed it,
Oh.
and she said, "Dream big."
Oh, that's so
Aw.
sweet.
Yes. Also, Survivor Gabon is the very first season of Survivor that Brandon Donlin watched, so it's a special one. So it works out. But I am drinking water.
Period.
This intro is about to be 15 damn minutes.
Okay, Brooke, please go.
And hey, it's Brook, and I guess today you're getting a podcast with all the fixins.
For
Sure
sure.
are.
KaMorian.
And that's the gimmick for Survivor this season is I'm just gonna use different ropes on every episode.
I love it.
And I'm dying. As you can't tell, my glasses are fogging up because I've been laughing so much.
It
So
tends to happen.
you're making me cackle today. So KaMorian and Jack, please be kind enough to let me wipe them off.
Well, hello. My name is KaMorian Hannah Rose, and I don't want to be here anymore. I can't take the pressure.
Not that. Morian's
Okay,
missing.
bye.
Morian
I
is
had
really
one
craving some
request,
nicotine.
just one.
No.
I had to. The moment presented itself, KaMorian. I had
Well,
to.
bye.
All five of us really want to be here.
Okay. I'm Brandon Donlin. Logan is Emily.
No, we all know if anyone hears Emily, it's me. Let's be honest.
That is so true.
Oh
That
my
is
god,
so
and
true.
there's two black people, so it works.
Oh
Me and
no.
KaMorian are working together, obviously.
So Jack,
It's your turn. Oh no,
who's
KaMorian,
Sean?
finish. KaMorian,
Oh,
finish
sorry,
your
KaMorian.
intro to KaMorian. I'm sorry.
Well, that's it. I'm gonna pass it to Brandon, to my love, to my love. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Oh my god. No.
What do I even say?
Good.
Like,
Oh my god.
look. Hi, my name is Jack, and I also would have a breakdown after one day of not eating, not due to nicotine this time around, but due to just being a complete and utter mess.
Mhm.
That's
And we
relatable
love-
content.
And we love you for it, Jack.
Relatable, Jack.
And
Very
I'd
relatable.
probably develop a nicotine addiction before going on. That way I can blame it on that album.
There you go.
Here we go.
Oh
As
my
you all can apparently, after 10 minutes of just chit chatting and laughing and all foolishness, we're finally going to start talking about Survivor 45, the episode. It happened. We watched it, and now we're going to talk about it.
We
And
did.
you could subscribe to this channel while you're here because, as you see, we have a great time. We kiki a lot. We laugh a lot. Sometimes we're a little shady to each other, but it's okay. It's all love. It's all love. Most of the time. Most of the time. Anyway. So we're talking about Survivor 45. Hit the button now. We won't talk about it no further unless you hit the button. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna talk about it.
We'll still be here also.
We'll still be here regardless.
Will there be 6 people every episode? Probably not.
No.
Who knows?
We'll see.
I
But we'll
would
see.
bet $1 million on
Oh.
the fact that 6 of us will not be here. In fact, it'll be 8 from here on out.
Not
Oh my
8.
God.
Okay.
Not
We-
9
we-
technically, because KaMorian wasn't part of that draft.
True. Oh wait. Well, there are technically 2 other people that KaMorian
yeah.
could just inherit.
Team KaMorian.
Who are the leftovers? Drew.
Drew
So,
and Sean.
Drew and Sean.
Hey, those are not bad picks.
I mean,
Yeah.
Better than
bad
my
picks
team
at
after this
all.
episode, let's be honest.
Yeah, we know.
Well,
I
let's
think
talk
one of those people could win. We'll get into it.
We'll get into it. Let's talk about the episode. We start off with the boats are coming in to the other bigger boat, the smaller boats getting to the bigger boat so they can climb up on the big boat to talk to Jeff. And boats. And here is where 5 minutes in, foolishness already ensues. And when I say foolishness, I say Emily. Emily is her name. She's foolishness. She is going to be, when I speak of foolishness, I'm probably talking about Emily because she is grade A foolish. Right out of the gate. Literally right out of the gate. Jeff says, it's probably a face you probably already know. Bruce is back, and everybody's like, "Yay, Bruce is back! Bruce is
And
here!"
we're all like, "Yay,
and
Bruce!"
we're like, "Yay, Bruce is back!" Because we like Bruce. Bruce is great. Bruce didn't have a chance to play the game. Right, we didn't have enough time to see what Bruce actually could do, so we're like, "Yay, Bruce is back! Give him another chance." Jeff asked Bruce, "Do you think you have an advantage being in this game?" And Bruce is like, "Not really, because I didn't get to play the game. I was literally at this same place last season when I got out. So I really didn't get to do anything extra or special or feel like I actually played the game. So I don't think I have an advantage." And Emily was like, Jeff, I want to push back on that." And I was like, "Girl, what?" "Child, huh? What we pushing back on?" I mean, he does have an advantage because he did get to this process further than all of us, and so he actually got to this place, and we're still at a new place, and so he does kind of have an advantage over us. And I was like, "Girl, shut up!"
I'm sorry, but like Emily is like the first, like the person that makes me want to smoke my first cigarette. Because my God.
I was like, "Girl, shut up!
Don't smoke. Don't start smoking.
Hannah.
Then you're gonna go through nicotine withdrawal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't.
So
I'll say when she said that, I was like, okay, whatever. Like I wasn't too bothered by it. And then I thought he had a pretty good defense at first. He was like, I think different people bring whatever advantages that they have, like whatever personal advantages they have. And then she pipes up and she's like, there he is again, speaking with authority to us. And I'm like, what are you doing, girl? You're speaking with authority right now. It was very hypocritical. So that's when I was like, okay, you got your first jab in, but this is a little too much at this point. And I think this might backfire. I think you're making him more of a sympathetic figure. So I don't know what her goal was.
Right. Jack.
Yeah, and the weird part was, like, at the start of this game, like literally, like, I think the second person we hear from is Emily, if I'm not mistaken, saying like, look, all of these people are here to just enjoy the experience with a couple shady zoom-ins. And then, but no, I'm here to win. If I don't win, I might as well have gone out first.
And I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree.
You were this
more.
close.
You were this close. Living out your dream.
You don't even know how close.
You were lucky.
I'm not trying to say anything, but I noticed some things.
We'll talk about that. I noticed some things, and I was like, y'all know me. I'm gonna call out what I see when I see stuff, and I was like, I ain't gonna say it because I don't know. I'm gonna give her a couple of more episodes.
We've seen one 90-minute edited episode,
right? So I'm not gonna say it, but it sure ran through my mind a couple of times during the episode. I was like, girl, wait, Lana, don't say it. It was right at the tip of my tongue, and I was like, don't say it, girl, don't you say it. So I ain't gonna say it. But just know,
you know what I want to say, though, Lana?
In a couple of weeks, I might say it. That's all I'm saying. But
you know what I want to say?
What's that?
I want to say, I want to talk about our good friend of the podcast here.
Aww.
Our good friend, Brandon Donlan, who, oh boy, had just an adventure. Just an absolute adventure of an episode. He got what he wanted from his Survivor experience, I guess. Well, he's not out yet. Hopefully he goes very far. We're going to hope for that. But immediately, first question goes to Brandon, and he just breaks. And I'm like, oh.
Relatable content.
I'm being truly.
Like, I just imagine if, all of us have been fans for a while, at least. I don't know the exact length of everybody's fandom, but like we've all been fans for a while, and I just can't imagine a world where I'm on Survivor, right? I'm standing on the boat with 17 other people and Jeff Probst, and Jeff Probst is like, "How do you feel to be on Survivor?" Like, come on, it's relatable, and I understand. I love it.
It's relatable, not for Survivor, for me. Like, I'm not going to be crying about Jeff Probst and Survivor because that's not my show. But you put me on Big Brother and I'm standing on that stage the first day and I'm like, whoo, child, am I about to walk into this house? Am I really about to walk into this house? I might have moments where I'm sitting somewhere like, I'm playing Big Brother. That's my moment. Those are the show. That's my show. No, Amazing Race.
Oh, absolutely.
When I'm standing in front of Phil and he's about to tell us to run out into the world is waiting.
When it's me and Lana.
No, we can't go together. We already discovered that neither one of us can drive stick. Neither one of us can drive a stick, so we can't go. But
true.
Bring back the family format and just one person who can drive stick, everyone else prays.
Oh, jeez.
No, they have that now. It's called buddy games.
Oh, God. But yeah, I think so. It's definitely relatable. I definitely understand Brandon and his emotions, why he felt that way. I was like, knowing him, I was like, you go. You know that America's Next Top Model meme. That was me. I was like, you go, Brandon.
And I know, David, you probably you've known Brandon longer than any of us, so I know you probably had like a very visceral reaction.
Oh yeah, it was really surreal just watching. For some context, so I used to I guess I still do have a Facebook group that's for Survivor fans that became very popular around 2010, 2011. But I remembered seeing Brandon on Facebook back in, I think, 2012. And I saw him commenting under Stephen Fishback's tweets or posts on Facebook. And I'm like, hey, you should come join our Facebook group. So he did. And he just became my little buddy. And we would talk frequently. And then eventually we went to Survivor events together. We shared a hotel room in Chicago once at a Survivor fan event. We've been to Orlando at the same time for a Survivor event. So he's just been somebody who's been in my life for over 10 years now. And I've just known him as this huge Survivor fan. I've watched him grow up. So just seeing somebody that I know and I've hung out with multiple times on Survivor was just crazy to me. And when he was crying, I was nothing is ever compared to that moment for me watching Survivor. So it was so cool.
That's awesome.
I love that. And on your favorite show, too.
I know. Both of our favorite show.
David Healy for Survivor 47.
David will quit like Hannah.
David, all the food will be bland, so David would fit in perfectly fine.
Stop it. Facts. But anyway.
I have cooked for this man. I can say that.
I know.
It's the from
KaMorian. David doesn't like a lot of things. David is not a fan of a lot of things, but that's okay. Yeah. I still love you, David. Period.
I do too. I just won't ever cook for you.
That's perfectly fine.
Right. I'm about to say, I'm sure he's not upset. But Survivor. So then we get the challenge because that's what we're here to talk about, Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
So we get the first challenge and they break it down 2 by 2 by 2.
Can I mention?
Go ahead, jump in something.
I was going to say, so they title all the comps, but they don't mention the names of the comps really at all ever. I looked at the name of this competition. It's called Barge Simpson.
Stop.
What?
I'm not joking. That's what the Survivor fandom wiki says. It says this challenge is called Barge Simpson.
No.
I wish I was lying.
Well, Barge
Hold
Simpson.
on.
Well, Barge.
Well, Barge. There we go. So the Barge Simpson competition happens, and 2 people have to unload a crate full of sandbags and heavy ropes and put it into another crate. And then once that happens, they get a key. Then they run back, and then 2 more people jump off the boat, swim out to another boat, and boat back to the boat, and climb up back to the boat. And then they have to climb the ladder to get back on the boat. And then 2 more people will take sticks and hit the ring to try to get the key, another key off a ring, one of those swirly rings. So they have to keep hitting it till it falls off.
And then they have to untie the bag and get the flint.
Right. To win, in order to win. All of this. So we start off, Lulu is doing really great in the beginning. They pulling out the bags, they getting all the stuff, they grabbing the things. It's Sabaya and Caleb, and they're doing it. They getting it done. Made it happen. Bruce and want to say was it Couture?
Mm-hmm.
Bruce and Couture was doing it on the blue team on the Bellow tribe.
The Bellow deck, because we didn't even talk about the tribe names.
Yes, but Bellow tribe, which is we call it the Bellow deck.
I will be affectionately referring to the tribes as the Bellow deck, the Lululemon tribe, and the Reba McEntire tribe because they literally have a single mom who works 2 jobs, who loves her kids and never stops, with gentle hands and the heart of a fighter. Julie is a survivor.
Julie is a survivor. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
She sure is,
and she's on the Reba tribe. So great.
She sure is.
So then on the Reba tribe, it was Austin and can't remember.
Wasn't it Sifu, the other person?
Yep, Seafood.
Yes.
It was Seafood
Yeah.
Austin. You're right. Seafood Austin. And they killing it.
We're still
And
learning names.
We're still. I'm remembering. And so then the Yellow Tribe finishes first. They go off. Brandon and
Caleb.
No, was it Caleb?
Sean.
No, Sean.
Sean, you're right. You're
Sean.
right.
It was Brandon and Sean jump in the water. They swimming out. And the blue team right behind them, red team right behind them. Everybody was jumping in. Everybody was close. They swim out, get the boat, come back. Lulu is in front. Lululemon tribe is in front. And then this is where tragedy struck because Brandon gasped completely out. He could not climb the ladder. He was struggling getting up. He kept falling in. He get 1 foot on the ring and then he falls. He get another foot on the ring and he falls. So then Sean just climbs over him and gets on the boat. And Brandon is still struggling. But at that time, teams are coming in. The below deck tribe comes in. The both girls jump and climb up the ladder and they go. And then the Reba McEntire tribe comes in and they both climb up the ladder and jump on the boat. And Brandon is still struggling at the bottom of the boat, not being able to climb. So Sean goes and tries to help Brandon up. By this time, the below deck and the Reba McEntire tribe are already unscrewing most of the rings on their little flint thing. But they finally get Brandon up. Brandon finally makes it on the top of the boat.
Thank God.
Thank God. We love you, Brandon, but you know this is a struggle. Well, and because he was put out a message on Twitter today about the struggle that he was having. But yeah, it was crazy.
I'll be honest, like watching this, I just like my heart went out to Brandon so much that I literally started crying because I was like devastated for him. I knew this was like the nightmare scenario. And my heart, like my head starts thinking, worst case scenario, is he about to get pulled from the game? Just because he's like so exhausted. I was very scared for him, honestly. It was hard to watch.
Yeah. What did everybody else think about this whole challenge situation? Jack, we'll go to you.
So, due to, I'm going to call them fun timing issues, I wasn't able to watch this early part of the challenge. I had basically jumped in a little bit later on where Brandon and Hannah are talking to each other. So that's where I started the first time. So earlier this morning, when I went back in, I had already known what comes up. And that made this scene so hard to watch because I knew exactly what was going to happen afterwards. My brain was just like, oh my God, I'm watching it happen in real time. And yep, that's what I do. Oh, fuck.
KaMorian, what about you? What you think?
I didn't see like the beginning part. I think I got to action when Brandon made it back on to the top and he was on the floor eventually. So they get him medical attention, and then the next two from his team went to do the ring part, the flint, the top part, whatever it's called. So, and I remember I think Red ended up winning. I think Reba ended up winning the whole thing on the boat. So
Mhm.
I didn't see fully what fully has happened. But like, you know, because like, damn, poor Brandon. Like, you know, it just hurts to see, you know, that one player like just, you know, just going through it in a challenge physically.
Yeah, Brooke, what about you?
Did you watch the challenge first and foremost?
I
Did you see the
did
challenge?
actually. Yes,
Some
I
people
watched it.
apparently
I
didn't.
watched the challenge. I watched the challenge.
I watched the
They
whole
didn't watch
I'm not
episode.
talking about the
first.
challenge. I'm talking about this challenge. Barge Simpson, that one.
Dumb name.
Brooke, go ahead.
Yeah, all I'm gonna say is damn that Lulu ladder, because if you think about it, right, you saw Emily and Hannah, they almost came back and won. They were like this close from winning because I mean, all intents and purposes, they beat Bello because Bello got stuck and they couldn't get the thing off the corkscrew. Not a fan of Emily or Hannah at the moment, but Emily, but like, you know, they did a good job.
Yeah.
It's just if Brandon would have gotten up that ladder maybe 10 seconds faster than he did, I think Lily would have won the reward. But like, part of the ladder was on the side of the boat, and then there were like 2 or 3 rungs that were in the water, right? And if those rungs weren't anchored, that would have been difficult to even, if you're like starting there and you can't pull up at all, that would have been difficult to get up. So I can understand, especially after you've already swam a decent amount, had to get yourself into a kayak, paddle said kayak all the way back. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah, I will say, everybody who's talking about how bad Brandon did, half of us wouldn't be able to do it because I know for sure I wouldn't have been able to do that. I would have been like, put me on the pole, getting the keys off because I'm not swimming and I'm not carrying no heavy rope. So put me on the pole to get the flint off the thing because that's gonna be my it was bad, but.
That's why I stay here on this podcast instead of going on Survivor.
Yeah, exactly.
What I did love was just the happenstance of the 2 on the final leg for the Reba McEntire tribe being literally, I think, the tallest and the shortest person on the season, being Drew and Dee. Mm-hmm. I was like, that's fun. And they worked it out and they got it. And the Reba McEntire tribe taking that first win.
They took it. And Reba Williams, they get the minimal of supplies that they are going to get: a pot, a machete, and some flint. That's it. So this is still what I don't like about this modern age Survivor. I'm like, give the people some rice, please. Don't starve them. I hate that so much. We talk about it. We've been talking about it since 41. How much we hate the modern Survivor when they don't give them the rice. I hate watching people starve. That's just me personally. I don't like. I'm like, why we do this? I don't go on TV to watch people. I don't want to watch people starve, but they get their bare minimums and they go back to tribe. And Lulu and Bello has to have another chance to get their meager belongings, but they have to go and do the savory or sweat tribe. Savvy, not savory. Lord, I'm talking about
savory or sweet.
Savory or sweet.
I'm so hungry right now. But like savvy but here's the thing. I'm gonna let you try. Survivor has been putting this savvy sweat challenge for the last few seasons, and everybody's been winning. They said, not this year at all. Somebody is going to lose this savvy or sweat challenge. Somebody going to lose. We're not going to have both teams winning and both teams getting this reward. Somebody is going to lose. So they made it a competition between 2 people from the Lulu and the Bello tribe.
By the way, I didn't like that Sabaya and Caleb volunteered and nobody else did. That's sketchy. I don't like that.
And we were calling Brook the Emily earlier.
Like, what was just like an advantage like we didn't know about and they had it.
mean,
Like,
why would
I
they
didn't volunteer either, and I could have,
you
but I'm gonna just
have
bitch
it,
about it.
right? Instead of just being like, I want to do it, you chose not to, but they volunteered, so it's sketchy. And if they come back with nothing, they have to have an advantage because
She
they're
did every
sketchy.
damn thing but call them aggressive. Like,
Child,
Episode 2.
I would not be surprised, David. I'm trying not to comment on her because it's just gonna make me angry and I'm gonna start yelling, and I don't want to do that on this podcast. But what I will talk about, I loved this new twist with the sweat and savvy. I was like, oh, more competitive aspects. I really enjoyed that. So it ended up being, like we mentioned, Sabaya and Caleb versus Brando and Jake. And I know exactly why they sent Brando. And I felt so bad for Brando. Because I was like, oh no, baby, no.
Oh, for
No.
the
The savvy
Smart.
part.
Then they made, and the other part, they made them do both tasks.
Yep.
So they had to do the sweat task, which was transporting 40 logs. And then they had to do the savvy task where you had to, your flint was on a rope tied into this very weird contraption that I don't think we've ever seen before. I was like, this is new things
Not
on Survivor? We're not reusing the same things?
Don't worry, that comes later.
I know, probably.
Yeah.
That comes later.
Well, they did change the tribe colors this season, so they had to rebrand a lot of things. So, but no, I love the way, I love that it was competitive and they made them do both aspects of the task. I thought that was a nice, new, twisty change that I really enjoyed.
I continue to think Savvy and Sweat and all that mess is still completely and totally unnecessary. But
I agree, but I think
and this is
was
the
fun.
this is the best version of it we've had. But like, whatever happened to the tribe that wins the opening reward getting like shelter building supplies or like things to help start a fire with, or like, I don't know, things that would actually help them survive versus,
They have to
I don't
dig
know,
deep, Brook.
already used that Jeff Probstism last time. Okay.
I'm aware.
But like, Jeff's not even there either. And, like, ugh. This twist continues to underwhelm me every single season it has been on. Although I did like the puzzle. It's like half a puzzle, half like a brain teaser, I guess.
It was something.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, I was trying to figure out how it wasn't just, okay, do all the actions that you need to. Like, it was just following the rope, but also, I mean, obviously the rope was really, really, really tied up. So, I don't know. It looked very, very difficult, and I do not envy them. Also, having an hour to do both of these, yeah,
That
no
was a
reason
choice.
why they both failed.
They both failed.
I mean, that's a lot of logs to move, especially when this is not the most physical cast, honestly, if we're looking at them. So yeah, we had 3 of probably the stronger people this season, but even so, like, I don't think they compare to a lot of the people that we've seen do the sweat tasks in previous years. So I can understand why they didn't get it, because it was a lot to ask for. But what I kind of didn't like about this was that even though we had a 90-minute premiere, everything felt so rushed, and it didn't feel like there was time to explain a lot of things. Like, I don't think that we properly even understood what they had to do with the second task. They just kind of jumped into it. There's a few things that I think they could have really taken their time with this episode. Some things didn't even make the episode.
But
but
we'll talk about it. 'cause
Yeah.
I'm gagged.
I know, me too. But I think that that's the problem is we got the 90 minutes throughout the whole season, and Jeff is like, okay, great. We can throw in more things for the season now. I'm like, no, just take things that we already weren't seeing and put those in the episodes. You don't have to create brand new things for the episodes. He said that they're going to make things more complicated. That's not what we wanted. I want to see more of the camp stuff. I want to see the social stuff.
And we did. The thing is, though, we did. And I think compared to at least what I remember of the other modern era premieres, I think we got a lot more of the camp stuff. I feel like I got to know everyone a little bit. And obviously one tribe a little bit more than others and certain people more than others. But I feel like I got to know a little bit of everyone. And I think I saw where someone did a confessional count. And it was a lot more even than we tend to see it on other premieres. So I don't think it's perfect. And I will agree. I think I would like to see more of all the same things that you were talking about, David. But I think this is an improvement on the structure of previous premieres. I don't know if anybody else agrees with that, but I'm going to stand on my hill.
As someone who did not watch 43 or 44, 41 and 42 were fine premiere-wise, if I remember correctly. I don't remember having any... Well, 41 was a bit of a problem. Because the tribe that Erica was on, whose name I'm forgetting off topic at the moment,
Blue.
they barely... Yeah, the Blue tribe. Yeah, they barely got featured on that premiere. Honestly, they barely got featured in the pre-merge. But, like, 42 was better, but, like, it did feel at least more balanced here than it did in 41 and 42. So I can at least say that much.
I mean, what's ironic, I disagree, but what's ironic is those were both, like, every premiere in the new era, except for this one, were 2-hour premieres. So.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, for a majority of them, they did all of them have 2 boots? I mean, half the time it was someone being removed from the game and then a boot. But
I know all of them except for 43 did offhandedly, but I don't know about 43, like, specifically, is what was it saying?
Well, both tribes fail the challenge. Nobody else gets their materials.
Nope.
And they all got to go back to their camp and say, "Oh, we didn't get the materials." And
But before we even get back to the camp, foolishness starts up again at the Lulu tribe again.
Sure did.
Foolishness starts up again. Was like, if they don't come back with nothing, they took an advantage. I don't trust them. We know that they working together, and we just got to do what we got to do. And Sean is sitting there like, really? Why do you say that? And she's like, because this is Survivor. And if you don't come back and they volunteered to go, and if they come back with nothing, they had to get an advantage and they hiding it from us. So I'm just saying, because and then it goes to the confession and it's like, I'm just playing the game. I know how to play this game. I know it's not possible for them to come back with nothing and don't have an advantage. It's just impossible. It's impossible. Call me a pessimist. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I'm like, girl.
I'm not even going to talk about the optics of it. All I'm going to say is it is terrible gameplay. You are playing super hard on day one. Like, you got to be out here for what, 28 days nowadays, right? 26, something like that.
26.
26. You're gonna have to you cannot make your target that big because one, if everybody is like, which is pretty much what was going on because people don't want to outright disagree with her in the moment, but the second that they came back, they told Caleb and Samaya what happened. So like. And you cannot put yourself out there like that big out of the gate because you're going to get targeted, and look what happened.
And it's crazy. And before we move past that, because Brandon does come back because he wasn't with them when they first made it to the Lulu Beach, but Brandon comes back and everybody's like, "Oh, we're so glad you're back. You're okay. How you feeling?" He's like, "I'm feeling bad," but I'm like, Brandon, don't say you feeling bad. Don't tell him that. Tell him you. But yeah,
this was my favorite part of the episode because he gets 2 questions at once and they're like, "Where are you from? And also, how are you doing?" And he goes, "Jersey, bad."
I love that. Bad.
King of giving us sound bites. I know Brandon will be giving us sound bites because he knows
He on Survivor.
He knows.
He knows.
I was gonna say because a lot of stuff happens in the middle before we get to the immunity challenge. Do we want to go tribe by tribe and kind of talk about is that the most logical way to
I think that's a logical way. Yeah, I think that's a logical way to dissect it.
Before we continue, I will have to depart because some things have just happened and I will not be able to stick around. But note, the ending made me irritated and the challenge is boring. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, that's normal.
We voted him off anyway. That was first.
Yeah,
we were
going to vote him off.
We were going to vote him off, but he quit before.
We voted her off. Yep.
Yeah, we voted her off because. Sorry. Anyway.
Let's start with Bella.
Wait, David wanted to talk about.
Yeah,
I know. That's why I'm starting with Bella.
Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah,
it's just so random. I was like, oh my god, maybe we should just start with Bello.
I'm just thinking Bello.
I'm just thinking Virgo.
Or Leo. Or Libra. Never mind. Okay, so we get back to when they first hit the beach, Bruce is kind of trying to deflect from the whole foolishness of it all.
The foolishness. That's just how we're gonna refer to her this season.
Yes.
Sorry.
He's like, yeah, wow. He's like, she came up to me and bitch slapped me. Which I thought was funny. And then he quickly tells everybody, it's just him and the three.
It's Bruce. Bruce's angels.
Yes. He tells them, by the way, I'm not dad, I'm uncle.
Damn
I'm not gonna tell you all what to do or anything. I'm the fun guy. By the way, don't bother weaving the palm fronds. We need to fire here. The smoke will keep the bugs out. And the girls are like, I thought he was uncle who wasn't gonna tell us what to do.
I thought he didn't want to be daddy. He wanted to be uncle, but then he turned around. Then he turns around and be daddy once and again.
But he was giving good advice, I think.
I am not sorry. I will be thirsting over Bruce for the entire time that he is on this season because there are some very attractive men on this season.
It is something we'll talk about more later when we get to another tribe because I got my eye on one.
I know which one. I know which one. I want to talk about Kendra because I love Kendra so much.
I like her so much more than I thought I would.
Me too. She is I don't like comparing people that have been on shows previously. However, she is giving me my Carolyn energy in the best possible way. And I am so obsessed with her already. The way she was like, I thought he was supposed to be uncle, but I guess not. Just Kendra is also. If Brandon is going to be the king of the sound bites this season, Kendra is going to be the queen of the sound bites. I'm already telling you right now. I think it's going to be her and honestly Katura, and quite honestly also Kelly. This group of the three ladies. I will not be referring to them by their initials because that is not okay.
Oh no. Oh, absolutely not.
I just realized that as I was thinking about it, because I was not going to do that anymore. But our fabulous ladies of the Below Deck tribe. I am so this trio. If this was the final three, cool.
Right.
Great.
I want them to work together for real. Not like
not like for real.
No, not even for real. Not like that trio who started last season.
Not like the Seven Deadly Sins.
No, I ain't even talking about Big Brother. I'm still on Survivor. The trio from last season, and then the second something happened, she kicked Mariah right out the group.
Oh yeah, Mariah.
What's that chick name? I forgot, but whatever. She got her. She ain't
Ellie.
Oh yeah,
Ellie.
Yeah. That was
another white woman who's a counselor. Wow, those stereotypes tend to do very good things on this show.
Oh, no.
I was like, no,
I ain't gonna bring up the other one.
But back to the Bello tribe, David, you were saying.
Yeah, so we, as Logan was alluding to, we get that connection with the three women, and it was like one of my favorite parts of the episode because I do genuinely like all three of them, and they all talk about how they're 30 and two of them are 29. Sure you are, Katora. I love it though. I love the lie.
You're totally an office manager, Katora.
Office manager.
She's like, I'm just gonna lie about everything.
I'm managing my office as a civil rights attorney. So she
Good
sure
for
is.
her.
Good for her.
She
And-
managed somehow on a season with 3 lawyers.
3.
Which, first off,
Who's the third?
Julie.
Julie.
Oh, duh.
Yeah,
of
she's
course.
lying about
4.
being an art teacher.
It's Julie and it's
Julie
Jake.
and Jake.
And then Katora. Those are the three
I
lawyers.
think there's
Yeah.
a 4th. I'm pretty sure.
I'm checking really quick.
I think
I don't think so. Oh, was it Drew?
I'm checking. Y'all
Drew's
continue.
Ivy League and lying about that, but I don't know
But-
what his job is. Sorry, go on.
Like, just immediately going, someone else admitted to being a lawyer. Great. I can ask as many questions as I need to in order for you to say things that will take heat off me for the rest of the game, because I can ask you the right questions. Like, I know exactly what I can do.
And,
So smart.
and the fact that she was like, I think she was talking to Kelly, and Kelly was like, we need to go after Jake because he's a lawyer. She was like, oh, I knew it was the
Ain't
reason
gonna
why I
I'm a
was.
lawyer.
It's like, I knew it was the reason why I ain't telling nobody I'm a lawyer and I'm an office manager, because I don't want people to. She said, because I know the perception that people have on this show with lawyers. It's like, oh, they know how to lie. They built-in liars. They're sneaky and they snake and that. I'm not gonna do it. So as soon as Jake come back, she like, so what kind of lawyer are you? Oh, a defense lawyer. Oh, you work for the attorney general. I'm like, girl, and she just asking all the right questions to make. And her reason, she's like, he's so new to as
he's
a lawyer.
Baby lawyer.
He's a baby
just passed
lawyer.
the bar.
So he's
he wants to tell
excited.
everyone he's a
Tell
lawyer.
everybody
I
he
love
passed-
her.
She's like, he could tell everybody he passed the bar. And I'm like, oh. She's like, so I'm just gonna let him keep talking about how much he's a lawyer and how great he is, lawyer. And I'm just gonna let everybody know that I'm an office manager at the local Starbucks. I don't know.
I think she said for a nonprofit.
Probably.
Which two things. One, according to the listed occupations of everyone, according to the Survivor Fandom Wiki, there are only 3 lawyers.
Okay.
I don't know what Drew is studying. So it could be 4. I'm not sure. I don't remember what he's studying. Also, I want to point out as well, on the Survivor Fandom Wiki, Bruce's occupation is listed as Survivor 44. He doesn't have a job. His occupation is Survivor 44. And
I hope he got some workman's comp for.
I hope so.
And I mean, I think Katora also lied about her age, right? Like,
Yeah.
seemingly.
Yeah.
She's
not
34.
29. She's not 29.
Not far off, but she's
Sure.
34. So
I love her. She's my favorite on that tribe right now.
Mine too. 100% on Katura. I'm like,
I love Katora. I think all 3 of the women, because also let's go lesbians. Hello.
True.
And let's go queer women as well. Katora. Hello. Yes. Hello. Hi.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So
Also, so you made a comparison for Kendra. I actually got a comparison based on preseason stuff. I was really expecting her to remind me of one of my least favorite survivors ever, who's actually lovely in person, but I could not stand her on the show. And that's Katie from Survivor Palau. Like, she was just giving me that energy, and I really didn't like Katie.
Okay.
So she's
Not that energy,
way improved from what I expected. So
yeah.
So, well, okay. Anything else on the Below Deck tribe that we found interesting that we want to talk about, or should we move on to the Reba McEntire tribe? Because I feel like we haven't talked about them enough.
They didn't really get a lot.
Because they won.
Because they won, yeah.
They didn't really get a lot.
There's still a good amount of stuff to talk about.
Well, then go ahead. Let's jump to the Reba McEntire tribe.
I want to talk about Sifu's ass getting clocked by J Maya, because that was another one of my absolute, or no, it was D. J Maya was there, but it was D. I'm loving me some D. I'm kind of mad I didn't draft D because I'm loving D. And she was giving me the energy I wanted in this episode. Because if we remember from the preseason bios, Sifu said that the player he most wanted to play like was, unfortunately, Tony Vlachos. And that is a very big red flag on this red Reba McEntire tribe. But I'm still holding out hope for Sifu. I still like him, but he has some questionable choices, and I'm pretty sure he's a recruit. With that being said, I love that he was like, no, I'm just going to be Tony Vlachos and set up a spy shack. And Dee's ass went, what are you doing? Runs around and goes, a spy shack? Died laughing. My favorite part. I keep having more favorite parts. There's many favorite parts of this episode. Love D.
I have questions and concerns to anybody playing Survivor from this point on. Like, why do anybody think another spy shack is going to be feasible to do on the show when people have watched Tony do it on the show? So if they see somebody else putting together a bunch of leaves in the pot on top of stuff, they're gonna be like, what you doing over there? Is that a spy shack? Which D clocked. And I was like, as you should, because we watched Tony do it and successfully. Ain't nobody else gonna be able to do that. Everybody looking for spy shacks. From this point on, you looking for spy shacks. I'm gonna be like, what is that? Oh no, that's just a regular K. That was already here when we got here. I'm looking for every little formation that looked like somebody. And I don't understand how they think they could get away with it again. Like,
because Sifu's only apparently watched probably Kagian.
I'm about to say, as we said, Sifu is a recruit, so I don't think he realized that super fans is in the building and they looking like, is that a spy shack? Boy, you crazy. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And you just lose all the trust you can with your tribe. The only thing that is going to save Sifu in this matter is they keep winning and they won't have to go to tribal. But the second they go to tribal, folks go remember that he tried to make a spy shack on them. Like, yeah, no, absolutely not.
So I'll stand up for Sifu a little bit. I mean, obviously, I don't think his decisions were the best, but I also don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to model your game after Tony. It just depends on how you do it. There are so many things Tony did that cannot be replicated, like the spy shack. But what Tony was doing and why he was so successful twice is because his goal in his first and third game was to go out there and have as much fun playing as hard as he can. And that's the basic. That's what Sifu needs to do. He doesn't need to think about replicating the certain things that Tony did, but just keep that mentality. Keep having fun, because if you're having fun, your tribe will have fun with you. And that's why Tony won, especially his second win. But yeah, play hard and have fun. Just don't make a spy shack. Like, that's a little
exactly.
But his personality is infectious to me. Yeah. I like Sifu way more than I expected. I thought he was fine based on pregame, but he's just so endearing to me. I love him.
I said something about Sifu during the cast assessment, and it just rings true. It's still because Sifu said that Sifu was adopted, and I was like, oh, that was nice to know. I didn't know Sifu was adopted. But then I was like, listening to Sifu, hearing how Sifu acts and seeing the different things, and then watching this episode, I was like, oh, yep, Sifu was raised by white people. It makes sense to me. He was adopted to a white family, and he is making decisions like he is adopted into a white family. And I was like, you don't have the luxury to act like you were adopted into a white family and think you can come out on Survivor and play these games like you were adopted into a white family. Unfortunately, that's the reality of it. And that's what scares me about Sifu, because in the world that he lives in on a regular basis, which is fine, very fine, he can live that life. But the lifestyle he lives on a regular basis is a bubble that is not going to translate into Survivor with the people he is coming in contact with. Unfortunately, that's the reality we living in, and that is the reality of Black folks in these games. We can't play like our counterparts play. We have to play a whole different game to navigate through it. So him getting caught by D making that spy shack, it is not going to be forgotten. He will be called out on it, and it will come back to bite him in the butt. He gonna have a lot of work to do, but on the flip side of that, because he was adopted into a white family, he knows how to navigate his way through the environments that we certain people can and can't navigate their way through. And I'm gonna always make this about race, but I'm making this about reality. I'm keeping it real and being about reality. He is going to be able to get people to maybe possibly forget about that if he just doesn't continue to make those bad decisions. Like, I agree, he needs to play like Tony, but he don't need to replicate everything Tony did, because he is not going to be able to. He can't play that way. He not Tony. He can't play that way. Right. So I hope that he can. I think his personality is super infectious. I agree with you. I think people will like him. I think as long as the Reaper tribe is winning and he can stay there, the longer he stays there, the better off he would be. People will be like, oh, we really like Sifu. Sifu's great. Sifu's amazing. Sifu's so funny. Sifu's so great. But he needs to stay there. And he just got to hope they win, because the second they go to tribal, the tides will quickly turn on, unless they say, we want to keep tribe strength. Now, if they say they want tribe strength, then he ain't going nowhere, because you can't get no stronger than Sifu. You ain't getting no stronger than Sifu on that tribe. But if they saying,
and maybe in the game,
right, exactly. Sifu,
we haven't seen Bruce's full potential yet, but I was gonna say,
yeah, he might be the strongest. Sifu might be the strongest person out there right now. But but until they just gotta win. I need Sifu to stay there longer to marinate himself, because after that snafu, Sifu could have messed himself up with that one wrong decision, because that's all it takes in these games. One wrong decision can send you right out the door, because people, they lose that trust in you. It is what it is. But
also, sorry. Just really quickly, while I was thinking about it, I was going to say one thing that kind of annoys me about the new era of Survivor is when they've improved the diversity, which I love. But what I've noticed that they like to do is like, okay, we have 3 black men. Okay, we're going to split them up, 1 on each tribe. Yep. We have 2 black women, split them up. And it's like, why do we have to do that? Like, why can't we ever just mix it up a little bit more? Like, you don't have to have your specific divisions. Like, it still could be a struggle for somebody not to have somebody on their, because the white people, they got plenty of white people to choose from on their tribe. So I don't know. Survivor, stop doing that. It's so obvious what you're doing, and it's annoying.
Logan?
Jack?
I thought you were about to say something.
I said, Jack, did you have anything to
Oh, that was it. Okay.
I'm queuing to Jack.
I love Sifu.
Uh-huh.
I don't think he's taking the game seriously. And I love that for him.
Mm-hmm.
He is playing this like he is on reality TV and is doing whatever the fuck he wants. And I respect the shit out of that. Because, I mean, first off, going by Sifu specifically, which is not the name that you were born with, but instead the name that you were given as part of a martial arts training, is already going to be different, if I remember that correctly.
I thought that was just his name, but I
No.
don't remember.
So, yeah.
It's not his name.
Got it.
Same thing as Coach, I believe.
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, he's already going in. He's in the robes. He's just enjoying it, because he knows that he can just kind of be himself and pray that it works. He is always at 100, and I love it, because that's exactly how I'd play.
Mm-hmm.
I'll hand in my audition tape tomorrow, CBS. Just look for it. Just look for it.
47.
Here
47.
we go.
I wanna talk as well while we're on the Reba, and then we can move to, well, I mean, the whole Lulu of it all. We already kind of talked about prior to the challenge. We could talk about the Lulu after the challenge, but we got to talk about Austin, the alternate.
Now that is who I got my eye on.
Oh, me too, Lana.
Oh, me three. Jack.
I'm not in the market.
Oh.
Ooh.
No, I just never am.
Okay.
I prefer going down the street and getting food instead. You know,
I hate you. Anyway. And I love too that we found out that Austin literally got cast 2 days before the season started. I'm like, y'all didn't immediately cast him?
I would have.
First and foremost. Second of all, third of all, he finds a beware advantage.
Yes, he does. Just out of the blue. He was like, Seafood
completely on his own without being prompted by a producer. Obviously, he finds a beware advantage. And he decides, I'm on Survivor. I'm going to do it. And knowing that he's an alternate, I absolutely respect why he did it.
Yeah,
because I still would never. But knowing that he found out he was going to be on the show 2 days prior to, I get it. And so he opens it, and it's the location for a hidden immunity idol. But you have to complete a series of tasks. They could not have made this more vague, because he gets a little slip of paper, and it says, your first task is to decode the message on your tribe
flag or whatever.
It's not the flag, it's the thing.
The wooden banner.
The flag, wooden flag stand banner.
Yeah, wooden sign flag banners thing.
Look at the wood.
Flag.
Look at the wood and decode it.
So this is really interesting, because the minute I saw that sign, I knew exactly what it was. Like, someone who's looked at design puzzles before, you can immediately recognize when something is half of a letter. They are just halves of letters, and I think you don't even need to look at the sign for that. I haven't gone back and looked at it myself and seen the top marking, but I'm almost confident that I'd be able to logically decode it without doing anything. So,
well, then we're going to expect that for next week, Jack.
Yes, I'll try. I'll try my
Jack
goddamn
fact
best.
for next week. Remember Jack facts? The Jack fact for next week is going to be deciphering whatever the code is.
I'll pray that it's not the episode, because then I'll never be able to claim it.
I've already heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Owen mentioned it on a podcast. Owen from season 40.
Owen.
Well,
was it RGP?
It was, yeah.
I haven't watched that one yet, but I will.
So should we just go to the immunity challenge? Because we are an hour into this podcast.
I think so.
We need to get to the immunity challenge.
I think we could do that.
So, was there a name, Logan, for this?
Yes, I'm pulling it up. This is even worse.
Oh no, worse than Barge Simpson?
I think so. It's called Mud Crutch.
Mud Crutch.
Mud Crutch. Mud Crutch.
Crunch or crutch?
Crutch, like crutches.
Mud crunch.
But crutch. Singular crutch.
One crutch. All right.
As I would like to call it, obstacle puzzle. Yay! My favorite.
We love them.
So you run up a ramp, and then you dive into mud. And I took one look at that thing, and I said, Bruce, don't dive and first, Bruce. Whatever you do, Bruce.
Keep your head down, Bruce.
Why was there not padding?
I was upset about it, Jack. I was very upset about it, Jack.
I looked at it and I just saw all the flashbacks and go, oh God, not again. No.
And then when he started running and he went down and he was going through the mud, I was like, Bruce, put your head down. Bruce, put your head. And he was just, I'm like, oh God, no. If he bumps his head,
He was ducking and dodging. He He did pretty well. He got his redemption here, and I loved it. So running through the mud, and then you have to pick up a whole bag of coconuts, transport it, and then you have to untie the bag, open the bag, throw the coconuts into the basket. Classic Survivor. To break the box that has the key to unlock the thing, to unlock the puzzle, and then you have to lift all of yourselves up this ramp because we can't give you ladders because that's too easy.
Why would we do that?
I mean, we already saw them not be able to use ladders earlier.
So why give them ladders? Yep.
Jack, you can't do that. We have a friend on this season.
Yeah, and he ate shit both times.
He deserves. Look, we're gonna be.
We gonna be biased at the 44th finale. You still ate shit.
I'm about to say we are going to help. I'm about to say I'm gonna be honest about what we see on the episodes, even if you're my friend. And so, Brandon, you ate crap in both challenges. But okay.
Yes, and then you have to solve the 3D Survivor logo puzzle. Now, this challenge, we kind of thought that the Lululemon tribe was going to be a struggle bus tribe, and then it was proven correct twice in one episode.
It was bad. It was real bad.
It wasn't all that bad. But you want to know who had arguably the worst challenge performance in this challenge? Foolishness. Because you want to know who made it through the mud faster? Brandon. You know who took a long time in the mud? Foolishness.
And Sabaya.
And Sabaya, but foolishness. Yeah, it was a little bit of Sabaya.
It was a little bit of Sabaya. She started off.
It was rough. But Brandon did a great job in the mud, and I was proud of him.
But we can blame foolishness.
But we're going to blame foolishness.
But then we get to the ramp, picking up people on the top, and oh god. And then Brandon still had problems.
Brandon fell, and then they were trying to boost
Sabaya fell,
and then Sabaya fell, and
it was
just watching Brandon on the floor, and then like
this is what you wanted, Brandon. Shut the fuck up, Jeff Probst.
Right.
Shut the fuck up.
Just with a little bit of his back exposed as well. Just like
it's literally he looks like a limp body on the ground.
So horrible.
Just down.
Jeff is like, you have to dig deep, Brandon. This is what you wanted, Brandon.
I was like, shut up, Jeff. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. But,
leave Brandon alone.
Jeez. I was like, no. But then we saw how durable and pliable the Survivor buffs are, because we started using the buffs as anchors to hold people.
Was my favorite thing.
I was like, that was so smart.
In a long time. No one's ever thought to use buffs, but it's literally a built-in tool that you have. I loved this. I don't know who I don't think it was shown who came up with it, but whoever on the Lululemon tribe came up with that.
I think it was Sean.
It might have been Sean.
I think you're
Props
right.
to you. The gang would come up with that, I will say.
It was a beautiful strategy, and it definitely helped, especially once they finally got everybody up, and then Caleb had to do that leap up by himself. He grabbed on hold of those buffs and got on up there. It was a great thing. That was a brilliant idea. If it was Sean, I think it was Sean, but if it wasn't, whoever came up with it, chef's kiss, brilliant. But by the time the Lulu tribe even got up there, everybody was pretty much done with the puzzle at that point. So,
Jeff was like, it doesn't even matter. Brandon are putting together the puzzle. It doesn't even matter.
Bless their soul. They're putting in the last
I was trying to come up with a Reba McEntire quote. I can't
Don't worry.
Right now. But yes, Reba and Bello win. Bello wins first, and then Reba. Can we talk about the immunity idol? Because I love it. It's a little crane. The bird.
The bird. Crane.
I liked it because it's also in the logo for the season. I really like crane.
Do you like the crane, David?
I do, but I don't like the bottom part. Like I would be so mad if I
It's
got
just-
stuck with the
it's
bottom
a
part.
wood block.
The block of wood.
Here's my immunity. It's a wood block.
Is that a crane or
We're
a
safe.
pelican?
It's just
Is it a pelican?
I think it's a pelican because
I
I
thought it was
don't
a
think
crane.
cranes look like that.
Do they not? I'm
The,
still gonna
the
say
only
crane.
the only reference I'm using is that Pokemon from the new games where he spits
Don't you
up-
dare!
That's the reference that I'm using.
Don't
That's not a
reference
crane. That's a pelican.
Bombardier.
this
No,
is
no, not that one. Not that one. One generation back. The one that spat out Pikachu as like a move.
Cramorant. Not
There we
Cram.
go.
That's a duck. Anyway.
That's a
here's
duck.
this is your immunity idol. It's just a block. Here, that's your immunity idol.
Here you go.
Like,
Please bring it
are
back.
we
Better
serious?
than nothing, I guess.
It's better than
Truly
nothing.
better than nothing.
But it's like y'all couldn't be more creative than that. Like last season, I thought their idols was so much better with the sword and the shield. I was like, that's a
Mhm.
cool idol. This time you give them a rock. What are we, Charlie Brown? You giving us a rock? I got a rock. Like what? It's so ridiculous. But whatever. Survivor, go
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
I guess the people who was in charge of the art department last season left, and they were left with nothing.
Well, they had to reskin all of the challenges, Lana, because they changed the tribe colors. So they didn't have enough time to come up with a new concept for a new innovative concept for the immunity. So
Okay.
I don't know.
If you say so.
All right.
I don't know.
That's what we're
They
using.
they changed the colors.
Yeah, they did.
They changed all the colors.
But then Lulu goes back to camp. Everybody's muddy and dirty and gross, and they're like, "Could we go wash off before we start talking?"
Before we become a mess.
Right.
Mhm.
And
Do-
baby, a mess was had.
Do we want to talk about the unseen thing now or later?
I
Because
wanna talk
technically
about
it
it.
comes up right now.
I think we should wait.
I think we should also wait.
I'm okay with waiting.
I don't know what you all are talking about.
Oh,
So
Lana, you're gonna be
Oh.
gagged. Lana,
Okay.
you're gonna
Oh,
be
yeah.
gagged.
Cool.
You're gonna be gagged.
Cool.
There's a whole twist that wasn't shown.
oh, cool.
So
Oh, is that?
Oh,
Yes.
you probably saw
I
it.
think I saw a bit of it. Okay.
you might have
oh,
saw me tweet
Act-
about it.
Act surprised later.
oh, I think I know, but
Okay.
but I'm not sure.
I want to talk about. I do love this like friendship that we saw blossom between Hannah and Brandon this episode. I
Mhm.
really
I
enjoyed
like
that.
Hannah. I want to get that out of the way.
we will
I
talk
like
about it.
Hannah.
We will talk about it very soon, but I also really like Hannah Rose, and I will elaborate further why later on. But Hannah and Brandon are both kind of just like they're both having breakdowns together, and Hannah in this moment is just like, I need food. I need to sleep on a bed tonight. I need nicotine. I can't do this. And Brandon's like, I can't do this either. I'm having chest pains. Like this is just. Did y'all see his Instagram story today?
Yes,
Yes.
It's hilarious.
yes.
Where he's
I
calling his
missed
he's calling his gastroenterologist. He's literally like faking he's on the phone. He was like, yeah, Brandon Donlin here. I'm having a lot of chest pains still. Do you suggest that I play my shot in the dark? I hate him. I love him. I hate him. But he straight up tells Caleb and Sabaya that he's using his shot in the dark. And both of them are kind of just like, I
Wow.
thought we were voting Emily. Oh my God, why do we have that? I love it. David, I love you. Is that what you were
That-
doing this whole time?
Yes.
Yes.
I love you. Oh my God.
I loved her
Yes.
face
Yeah,
when she
she was
did
like-
that.
Like what?
I also do really want to pull the Jeff moment where he's just like,
Sorry, I have to show it again.
no, it's fine.
So
Where he
good.
at Tribal when he's just like,
Right.
it's so good. But yeah, Caleb and Sabaya were like, I thought we were voting Emily.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
And then Emily goes to Hannah and Brandon in the midst of their panic attacks and goes, I really think we just need to break up Caleb and Sabaya because I just think they're going to be really dangerous. And then confessional, she's like, I'm thinking 3 moves ahead. Baby, you need to be thinking about right now because your ass was about to be voted out because of your foolishness. But all right, girl, go ahead.
You literally
Also,
have
Go
two people in separate regards saying, you know what? I'm good to go home. My body's not doing well. And she looks at two other people and are like, yeah, no, they need to go.
Well,
I'm not gonna say anything yet. However, I'm thinking it. Sorry.
To be fair, Brandon never volunteered to go home. Like, he was honest about what he was going through, but I do not think for a second he wanted to go home.
Oh no!
So, and I've heard people like misconstrue some of his moments to make it sound like
is being rude to him, and I'm mad.
Yeah, yeah, but no, he like that's why he wanted to play the shot in the dark. He didn't want to risk going home.
Right. I don't think, and I don't think Brandon will ever want to quit.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely not. He won't quit, but his body was hurting at the time. And we all have moments of weaknesses where we're in pain and we say some things from letting our pain speak. And it's not what we actually really want. But it's like at the moment, he was just like, I'm hurting so bad. I don't know if I could do this. I don't know. Now, he never said, send me home. That was Hannah.
No.
Hannah 100% was like, send me home. I can't do this. I don't want to do this. Brandon was like, I just don't know if I can do this. And as much as it's his dream, he was like, I don't know if I can do it. But at the other side of the thing, Sabaya and Caleb are like, we're not trying to send you home. Why are you talking about using your shot in the dark? We actually feel like this is just the first couple day thing that might go away. I don't think they like, even though he didn't perform well in the challenges, they weren't ready to send him out the door because he's a likable person. Emily performed better in some parts of a challenge, and they still want to send her home because she's not likable. And then in the midst of her telling Brandon and Hannah that she wants to break up Caleb and Sabaya because they obviously working together. Her words, not mine. They're obviously working together. Brandon was like, you ain't hear this from me, Caleb, but she's saying your name and she wants you gone. I was like, if this ain't sequester coming into play right now, I ain't saying what I'm saying, what I heard, but I'm just saying what I heard. You ain't hear from me, but she's saying your name. And I was like, okay, Brandon, I see you. I understand you. I feel you. Play the game because you don't want to go home. If he wanted to go home, he would have never told Caleb anything. He would have let them vote him out. He would have been home. He didn't want to do nothing like that. He's playing the game. He just was talking through his pain at the time. But in anybody who was going through what he's going through, I would have been like, ooh, I feel like I don't think I can make it. But I don't want to go home because that's my competitiveness will kick in, even if it's at the last minute. It's gonna kick in at some point and be like, but I don't want to go home because I done spent 11 years trying to get on this show. I'm not going to be the first boot because of a little chest pain. I'm gonna fight through it. Through it. But yeah.
Man, Sean was so safe this episode.
Sean wouldn't even thought about it.
I love Sean.
Sean's adorable.
I adore it. I knew I would like the gays. And guess what? I like all three of them. And there's only three, and I'm mad about it, presumably, as far as we are concerned at this current moment in time. But I love Sean.
Sean was very sweet. Sean was the one looking at Emily like, huh? What? Are you okay? Like, are you okay? Like, seriously.
Sean was all of us.
Sean, really, because I was like, Sean.
Because Caleb and Sabaya were getting targeted. Hannah and Brandon were over having their panic attacks. And Sean's the only logical person going,
what is happening?
Sean, we didn't even talk about the pyramids.
Oh.
We didn't even talk about the pyramids.
God, yes. Oh. So
we didn't even talk about the pyramids. I don't really want to talk about it, but like we didn't even talk about the pyramids.
I'm gonna let Jack talk about the pyramids.
This tribe is like, they brought together the 6 most, I'm gonna use the word interesting, energetic, and not messy, but like you get the vibe where it's like,
oh, they messy. Oh, they a mess. They're
okay,
hot.
Great.
They're not messy. They're a mess.
Hot mess. This is a hot mess.
Hot boo boo mess.
Hot mess trash.
Like if you had told me that, oh yeah, one tribe talked about aliens in this game, I'd be like, yeah, no, it's the Lulu tribe. Are you kidding me? Like who else?
The aliens
Kendra?
made the appear. Right. I would thought Kendra too. She could have been
Kendra was
one.
probably dying to. Oh, I mean, maybe Kendra did have that conversation. Who knows?
Who knows?
Oh my
Who
god! Yeah,
knows?
wait a
Yes,
minute.
and I did hear it. I did hear it. Now that
Okay,
you said
well,
that, yeah, I did. But yeah,
surprise later. No, I'm kidding.
okay,
I just want to quickly add to this pyramid thought. So yes, the whole episode, Emily was foolishness. For this one moment of 30 seconds, everybody else became foolishness, and she was just Emily.
I agree with that.
Just for 30 seconds. And then it was
Also,
over.
Also, I looked back and I remembered that Emily was the one that applied for Survivor for the sole reason that she hated Mike Gabler. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah,
She's still foolishness, but
I don't like you either. But
I don't like her either.
look,
She's
and
the second coming of Mike Gabler.
Look,
Actually, I prefer Mike Gabler over her.
I think I do too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Don't let Robin know that.
Yeah, I know the Gabler stands are
Alligator.
something else.
Oh God.
so
But go ahead, Jack.
I have some thoughts on Emily just as a whole.
Great.
So, one, saying that you're a pessimist does not mean you get to be a dick.
Right.
In the nicest way possible, keep some of those thoughts inside.
Oh no, be mean, Jack. I want to hear you be mean.
I think he's saying she needs to keep those thoughts.
I know. Well, no, he's saying as nice as I
I
can
see what
say
you're
it. I'm
saying.
like, nah, be mean.
But
I support it.
The other part is, and I don't like speculating on this stuff. She reminds me a lot of me before I knew exactly what my brain was like. And I have this internal sympathy of, are you a dick or do you just perceive the world that way? And like, that's something that, like, I'm seeing that I'm going, oh fuck. So either she's a dick and she deserves it, or there's this going on and now it all feels icky, but also it's like it's right for the other tribe mates to be turned away. But like, I've had that feeling so many times in games that I've played where it's like, am I too much? I know where my brain is. Like, am I doing too much? Am I doing too little? And that's why, at least in my opinion, this game is harder to play if your brain isn't fully how the standard is.
Yeah.
So I mean, once again, I don't know. And I would love to hear from her and find out if that is true, because then those feelings that I have and those those like thoughts make sense. But like, I don't like to speculate about that because, like anything else, if you're wrong, it's bad all around.
Yeah. The optics of this entire episode were skewed a little bit. And that's why, like, me especially, I'm not saying anything yet about her. However, the optics don't look good. And I definitely understand exactly where you're coming from, Jack, because I've also experienced some of that. Like, for those of us who are neurodivergent, like, it's one of those things where it's like, it can be a weird experience. And I'm not trying to say anything definitively about Emily yet. We have seen a 90-minute edited episode with her in it. I don't know the woman. I don't know her background. I don't know who she is. I mean, I'm interested to see where her storyline goes moving forward and whether we hear things about her background that will inform us one way or the other. That's where I'm at with it. Yeah. So, shall we go to this mess of a tribal? Because it's a mess and everyone's... It's Emily versus Sabaya again, and then Brandon's on the end, and Emily's talking about performance, and Hannah's like, "Are you talking about me?" And Brandon goes, No. Just like, I love Brandon Doblin. I just want to make that very clear again. But, and then in the middle of it,
Do we even call this a tribal?
Hannah
Do
quits.
I mean,
Do we even call this a
Technically.
tribal?
They
I mean,
did go to tribal council.
I guess.
Torches were lit,
Yeah,
and someone's torch was snuffed.
sure.
So
Votes were
yes,
not had.
yeah, it's weird.
it was public vote,
I guess.
and Hannah straight up says, "I want to be here, but there are 5 people on this tribe that want to be here more than I do, and one of them is going to get voted out tonight, and I'm not okay with that because they want to be here more than I do."
I can respect that. This is
Yes.
here it is. I can respect her being self-aware. I can respect her wanting to not have somebody go out. And she wanted to go. I can respect that she was like, you just don't know until you're in there. You don't know how you're going to react and how you're going to feel until she's in a situation. Do I feel like she stole a spot from somebody? No, I don't.
No.
She earned her spot. She made it on the show, but she got out there and realized it was way deeper than what she anticipated it to be, and she just couldn't handle it. You don't know unless you know. Until you get in this situation, you don't know how you will react in that situation. So I respect her for being self-aware, being like, other people want to play this game more than me. So I will go. I will bow out gracefully. However, Lana, selfishly is like, Hannah, no, because we want Emily to go.
Exactly.
Like, we can vote you out next time because we're gonna lose more challenges. It's inevitable. We're gonna lose because we're a mess of a tribe. We can vote her out tomorrow. Like, you can vote you out tomorrow, but let us get her out now. But
Or
that's
just quit tomorrow morning.
well, quit tomorrow morning. Like, you know what? I don't
Bye.
want to do this no more. Bye. But let us get her out. But that's just me selfishly. But you know, whatever. Hannah made her choice. She made her decision, and you can do nothing but respect it.
I have a couple things to say. And first of all, I want to address, there's been a lot of people that I've seen and heard saying that they're happy that Emily has stayed because she makes good TV. And I just want to point out to the people who feel that way, I think that might come from a place of privilege to be able to look at her and find that entertaining, because I think there's plenty of people who look at her and are triggered and they see things that are ugly. They see things that survivors faced a lot, and it just keeps coming back. I thought we were past the days where Black people were grouped together just because they're existing, because they're having conversations. It happened since season 1 with Jervis and Ramona, and it has continued to happen. And I thought we were starting to get away from that. So yeah, I think a lot of people could watch this show and be like, hey, she's so entertaining, let's keep her around. But it can be extremely bothersome to certain people to watch that sort of behavior.
Preach on it, David. That is why you're my husband. Because you know when you know when you know. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I will say as well on that. Again, we know a 90-minute edited episode that includes Emily in it. Intention does not always equal impact. And I absolutely agree with you with what you're saying, David. I found it very uncomfortable watching Emily, personally. I can only imagine what Black people watching Survivor are feeling. Right. And I know one opinion because I'm friends with her right now and she's here. But like, I watched it with my roommate who is from India and he found it uncomfortable.
Anybody who is any person of color probably found that very uncomfortable to watch. Absolutely. And I'm sorry that, I mean, it's not even sorry. It's just, White people just have a different privilege of watching these shows and not getting triggered by things like that because it doesn't happen to you on a regular basis. White people could talk all day long and nobody automatically assumes that they're working together. It's just what it is. They just talking. Black people and people of color don't have it. And I'm gonna talk about not just Black people, because Survivor, y'all need to do better on your diversity with other races of people. We don't need one Hispanic person, 3 Black people, 1 Asian person, and maybe an Indian person every now and again. Like, step up your diversity if you go do that. And we ain't talking about 50% BIPOC. Why does it have to be 50%? How about we let the white people be the minority in this, in some of these shows? How about that? Let's see how they act and how they react in a situation where they're not the majority of the group. So how about we try to?
We saw it once. And they banded together. They banded together and wanted to take out all of the people of a different race. That's what happened in Cook Islands.
Yep. I'm about to say, we watched it. We watched it happen. So I want people to not stop looking at it and saying, oh, that's not what it is. Y'all overreacting. Y'all too sensitive, when we've seen it happen right before our very eyes. But you have the privilege to say, but that's not what it is. Let's just play the game. Can we leave race out of it and just play the game? We would love to leave race out of life and just play the game, but we can't, because people always making it about something, and it's not us. It's not always us. Sometimes it's us because we see things, but it's not always us. So I ain't saying Emily is that way. I don't know her. This is the first episode. It could just be a coincidence that she felt that, and that she attacked Bruce and she attacked Caleb and she attacked Sabaya in the same episode. It could be just a coincidence. It could be just something that just happened. But with the conversation you and Jack had, and y'all talking about she could be neurodivergent, I get it.
It doesn't excuse it.
Exactly. I'm about to say, I get it, but it doesn't excuse it, because I have neurodivergent friends who are not racist. I ain't saying she is. I'm just saying. Hello. I'm just saying it's not an excuse. And if that's what you're going to use as, because I have seen people who are neurodivergent try to use that as an excuse before and be like, oh, I know, it's just my, no, because I've seen otherwise. So if I didn't see otherwise, if everybody who I knew was neurodivergent and was making the same things, then I'm like, well, maybe that is the thing with neurodivergency that I don't know about. They need to, but no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I'll see. I'm not, like I said, I ain't gonna say it, but I'm thinking it. Right. And until she proved me wrong.
It is called a spectrum for a reason. So it's hard to expect neurodivergent people to all be kind of the same. Yeah, but I completely get what you're saying here.
Yeah, everybody's not a monolith. We're not a monolith of people. Everybody's different on every spectrum of every situation of everything that we do. We're all monoliths. So I can't expect because somebody else I know was like this, that she can't be this way because she's not like them. Just like we can't expect all Black people and all white people to be the same. We are not the monolith. We all do different things, but I just have to wait and see. So,
and we don't know if she is. She could just be a big old bitch,
right? She could just be.
And she even acknowledged she's behaving different on the island than she does off the island. So,
oh yeah, I forgot she did.
Yeah,
she said that.
She called herself aggressive in this episode.
Yep.
Well, good for her for knowing.
She's like, I have to use this word to somebody, so I'm just going to use it on myself.
On that note, I would like to bring it back to Hannah, because I do think Hannah is a lovely casting choice. I love that she was self-aware enough in this moment to just be like, nah, send me home. She was Adore Delano. I don't belong here. And she wanted to go party. And I hope she really enjoyed that bed and that dinner and her nicotine. And honestly, she provided me so much entertainment in this premiere. I know she will never go back to Survivor because clearly, obviously, and Jeff will never have her back, clearly, obviously. But
We can do hard things.
We can do hard things, which was the title of
The
this
which I loved. I was like, Brandy got the title. We can do hard things. We can do hard things.
The title should have been Jersey. No. I'm intrigued by the title of episode 2 because we do have that.
Yes.
Brought a bazooka to a tea party.
Oh,
okay.
that sounds like Emily.
That does sound alarmingly like Emily.
Probably.
But y'all have to bring up whatever this surprise twist was that we didn't see.
I wanted to get to my second thing that I wanted to talk about, and that was specifically with Hannah, because I heard an interview with her today. She was talking to Dalton Ross, and she was talking about how she is not on Twitter, she's not on Instagram, but people have still managed to find her somehow, and they are sending hateful comments her way. She's getting a lot of vitriol, which is awful. Like, people should stop that. Don't even do that to Emily. Yeah, we've all talked about her here. Leave her alone. Leave everybody alone. But I really liked what she said. She gave such a mic drop moment in this interview because she's talking about how all these people have been coming at her saying, you robbed our spots. You robbed our spots from getting on the show. And she's like, you know what? If you're the type of person who's going to find somebody on social media and send them hateful comments like that, you weren't going to get on the show because you wouldn't have passed the psych eval.
Period.
Boom.
Period.
Period.
I was like, come on, Hannah.
I loved that. I loved that,
too.
honestly.
She's just genuinely, like, of all people, I think she was the one that she knew that she could handle this. She's a therapist. Like, she knows, she has all of those coping strategies and how to manage things already at her disposal. So I'm very happy that she was the one to do that. You're looking at me like I said something wrong. Okay, good. She's a therapist. Thank God, because I thought I was wrong.
Oh, no, you're 100%.
No, you're right.
So I'm happy that at least of all people, she could look at it and go, I'm not going to let you tear me down. I'm not going to let you do that. I'm going to stand up for myself, and I'm going to be happy. Because at the end of the day, you weren't on, I was.
All right.
And the only person she could have ever have taken the spot away from was the female alternate that was in Fiji. And more than likely, we're going to see them in 1 to 2 years, 1 to 2 seasons anyway. So
I hope they kept her for an extra month and they just put her on 46.
Bingo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really hopeful for that. But so the twist.
Yes.
So we found out through, wasn't it Dalton or was it?
It was Jeff Probst.
Or it was Jeff
podcast.
on Fire with Jeff Probst, available on whatever platforms you want to listen to. Listen to us instead of him. But he revealed that there was a twist after the immunity challenge where Bello, because they won the challenge overall, and apparently this is a twist that we might see through the whole pre-merge. So I'm intrigued to see if we actually see it. The winning tribe would choose one person to go to the losing tribe's camp, stay there all day, observe, and secretly cast a vote for one of the members of Lulu. And from what we understand from Jeff, that person was Kendra. So Kendra was there all day. We didn't see any of Kendra. They did a pretty damn good job of editing Kendra out of that whole segment. Mm-hmm. And from what we also heard, there might be some sort of cross-tribal alliance between Kendra and Sabaya.
Yeah.
Which I love.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad at it. I love it.
So good.
Because if Kendra and Sabaya make a cross-tribe alliance, with Kendra going back to Kelly and Katora, I'm like, she's cool. And when we get to merge, Kendra, Kelly, Sabaya, and Katura can all link up and be like, girl power do this thing and they strong women and they doing it, I would be here for it.
KKSK, I did it.
Yay.
I broke it up.
Yep. Although I'm a little bit hesitant to think anything like that will come into fruition, at least based on the grounds of them connecting while she was there. Because if anything important was going to come from that moment, they would have found a way to show it in there. So
I feel like we might see it next week. If we see any sort of conversation with Kendra talking about it, we might see it next week. The reason they will not. So the reason they edited it out altogether is presumably because Kendra voted for Emily, and because of Hannah quitting, they just edited the whole thing out. So that's what.
Wait, hold on. I thought Kendra voted for Brandon.
She did.
I don't know. Oh.
She did vote for Brandon. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But
we'll fuck Kendra then.
Oh, not that. We won't do that to Kendra.
But yeah,
I like Kendra still, but
I mean, of all things, because there was no vote,
right?
It didn't matter. And that's probably why they cut it.
I think Jeff said that is why they cut it.
Yeah, it didn't matter, and they needed to save time. But there's 0% chance they're going to show that in the next episode because that would just confuse the casual audience. They would not get it, so they're not going to bother showing that at all.
I mean, if they found a way to do it where it doesn't confuse you, it's like this is, I don't know, flashback and say this is something that happened. We don't know. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna let Survivor be Survivor and do their thing because honestly, we don't know. All we know is from the previews, Emily looked like she's on a rampage running through the jungle, and she looked mad. I'm like, girl, you the one that started the war.
Bazooka and her tea party.
I'm about to say, you the one started the war, calling folk out at the tribal council, and just literally blatantly saying their name, like I want Caleb with somebody to break them up. But I'm like, girl, you just go play your whole hand at the first tribal council? What? But that's how she's been playing this game. She's very much a bull in a china shop. So we'll see if the bull come in and break up the tea party, whatever they talking about, and see what happens. Do we think Lululemon will win win immunity, or are they going back to tribal council?
I think they're going back to tribal. I think we are seeing the second coming of what was the tribe? No, I was gonna say the green tribe from Kagian.
Oh.
I don't remember. Brains. Was that just the name of the tribe?
No, they
had something else, but I don't think anyone knows it. If you just say Brains, people know.
The Brains tribe.
Wow.
That one.
Wow.
Yeah. Luzon.
Oh, the Luzon losers and the Lulu losers.
Oh my god.
Those L tribes.
Uh-oh.
On that note, I don't have a banner here, but draft update. Brook is down to one person.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm loving my team. I'm so happy with my picks. I have Sabaya and I have Kelly, and they were two of my favorites.
I'm still happy with my picks. I have Jake and I have Caleb, and I'm still very happy. As long as Emily doesn't get.
I am happy with my tribe. It's Katura and Austin. Both of them were super duper safe.
I love your team.
Yeah, I think we could. Like, I watched our draft this morning, and I heard you mention a husband wife. Like, we can merge teams because you like my team, and I was too upset with you.
You were very angry.
I was very fuming with you for stealing Sabaya from me.
You didn't even hear me say that.
I heard it, but I ignored it. But I am willing to talk about it. Look, we can negotiate off camera.
Okay.
Jack, who do you have?
J Maya and it's another woman from Reba.
Kendra.
D.
You have D.
There we go. Yep.
I am open to a cross-tribal alliance track. Also.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind.
Great. Cool.
I mean,
we'll talk off camera.
Yeah. I mean, D didn't really have much to do this episode other than calling Sifu.
Other than clocking the fuck out of Sifu.
And J Maya really didn't have much.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Other than her viral TikTok. Did y'all see that?
Oh yeah, I
she
did. I
fully-
saw that.
She
I
fully
saw
was
that.
lip syncing to Reba's "I'm a Survivor"
Survivor.
because
Mhm.
the caption was like, "When I found out I was on the Red Tribe and it was called Reba," and it's just her fully lip syncing to "I'm a Survivor."
I
I
watched that.
adore her, by the way. We didn't see much of her. I like her a lot.
Yeah,
do.
and it's funny because last night I was like a Snapchat like video of Brandon to like a few of my Snapchat friends, and one of them responded and they're like, "Hey, my friend's on Survivor too," and it's Jay Maya. They went to
Shut
Oh
up!
together.
wow!
Yeah, they were in choir
wow.
together.
Oh, no
Love
way!
that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Go
Well,
stream
on-
her music, by the way. It's good.
Period.
Oh, it's so good.
Great. And on that note, I think we're done here because
Maybe.
I don't
Yeah.
think I don't think we can pull anything else out of this episode because we're going to be right back here next week to talk about episode 2 of Survivor 45. And so while you're here, if you stuck around with us this long, hit the subscribe button. You know you like us because if you didn't, you wouldn't be here. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, all the things, hit all the things, all the buttons. If you hit the dislike button, hit it twice. Follow us on all of our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter,
That one
Instagram.
specifically.
Twitter, Instagram, and not Jack pointing out his own Twitter right
No.
now.
No, I was like, Jack was pointing out David. That's what it looked like to me.
Right.
Yeah.
You were pointing directly at David the whole time, even while you were moving. And I was like, okay, follow David, I guess.
Logan, follow David.
Okay, well,
Now you can follow Jack.
First, you can follow us on the Cup Pod at the Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. That's what I was saying. But then you could go and follow all of us down there. You see us all down there. Follow all of us, even the ones who had to leave early. Follow them too, I guess. And get your cup merch. That's also down in the description below. Get your cup mug or your cup merch. Anything else is official. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll be back. See you next time. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
God, I cannot wait to see Brandon and
Ole,
Fessy do a
ole,
hall brawl.
ole, ole.
Oh my God. Stop,
Ole,
Jack.
Jack, you know that.